Hey, good morning everyone. Happy Monday. So today I want to talk to you about a few things, and I'm just going to let you know. I know people have not come on just yet, but I only got 15 minutes. I have to call my daughter to school before her class starts to chat with the teacher, and I really need to do it. So I only have 15 minutes to chat with you, which is plenty of time, okay? So good morning. As you're rolling on in, say hey down below so I know you're here. And we will get started. Where's my tea? Oh, okay. I got this new mug. My daughter got it for me. I forget what the reason was for. It was for a gift for some reason. And it's an insulated mug, it's from Walmart. And it keeps my tea hot for a very long time, which I'm very excited about. Because it gets cool very quickly. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So, before I get started, I want to share something with you guys. Hey, where's my mouse? Anyway, I only have 15 minutes, okay, to chat with you because I need to call my daughter's teacher before school starts because my daughter, I had a very upsetting Saturday night or Friday night, I forget. My daughter was crying because a girl in her class is picking on her and teasing her. I wouldn't go ahead and use the word bullying because it's not quite that serious. But this girl's supposedly her friend, okay? Anyway, I'm very friendly with the mom. I know the mom from before, probably play dates or whatever, birthday parties. So I have to call my daughter's teacher early in the morning to let her, make her aware and get the mother's number so I could have a chit chat with her about her her daughter's behavior. Good morning. So, as you can imagine, I'm definitely cutting this Facebook Live, only to 15 minutes because obviously it's really important to me because my daughter feels like, I know this is personal, I'm just sharing with you because it was very upsetting to me. I think some of you could relate possibly. My daughter over the weekend told me she felt like she has no friends and she started crying. Anyways, so as you can imagine, I was really hurt. I was picked on as a little kid. So that really bothered me hearing that from her. Because I feel like it was like, elementary school all over again. I'm like, it's happening to my daughter. This is crazy, And she's, I think I was an alright kid, but she's much cuter than I was. She's much more smarter than I was. Dresses better than I ever did when I was young. And, I guess that doesn't really matter anymore. Kids will just pick on kids that have a sweet heart. She doesn't have a thick skin, and that's the issue. Good morning. So I will be, again, cutting this Facebook Live, short for that reason, but we'll get enough, information in here just to start you off on a Monday. So wish me luck with that conversation with the mother. Anyway, so a couple things I'll talk to you about. I've been doing shop critiques for the past few weeks, and a lot of things keep coming up that I keep seeing. And I know it's important for me to discuss with all of you, just so you understand, and there's plenty of mistakes that I see in a shop critique. Obviously, people are paying for the shop critique, they want to know what they could do better, there's plenty they could do better, or that they're doing great and how to get to the next level. But I want to share with you 3 things I keep seeing happening over and over again, okay? And I'm going to share with you this information so you could use it to your advantage, okay? Whether or not you got a shop critique from me, whether or not it didn't click right with you, this will certainly be helpful. But before that, I want to share with you something. Obviously, you can tell by the title. I made it sound so bad now that I think of it. I said I fired my assistant. That sounds really bad, does it not? It sounds like you're fired, like she did something really bad. And that's not quite the case, okay? So maybe I should have reworded it. However, it is true. I had to let her go. And I'm just letting you know because obviously I hired her. And so I had to let her go because after several days of thinking about it, I realized that I'm very busy on Mondays. And I hired her, by the way, and she can't work Mondays and Wednesdays, at least until school finishes. And after that, we don't really know what's going to happen when school starts up again with her schedule. But I realized what kind of a bind that's putting me in because she's unavailable to help me on Mondays. And you may or may not say to yourself, Dahlia, get over it. It's just a Monday. You'll have her the rest of the week. Well, not quite. Obviously, she's not available on Wednesdays. I prefer somebody, if I had to, choose the perfect person as far as schedule, it would be Mondays through Fridays, like 8 or 8:30 in the morning till about, or even 9, till about 2 or 3, just depends, part-time for now. And what I realized I was doing, I was settling, because I knew of her, right? I used to work with her, and she was a really great associate. I knew of her, I felt comfortable. It was a way for me to ease into hiring somebody. And after several days or a week or so, I realized how wrong that was, because I really needed somebody on Mondays. And I was putting myself in the same position I always was, which was stressing myself out, giving myself anxiety, because Mondays, such as today, I finish a Facebook Live and I go into tons of work. That, like, I'm telling you, I spend hours messaging people, setting up custom listings, invoicing, proofs, notepads, you name it, okay? And then I do this across multiple platforms. I do it in my Etsy shops, I do it on Amazon, I do it on my .com. It's a lot of work, and it takes out a lot of my day. And again, I know it's only one day and there's plenty for her to do in the other days, but I found that I was settling, good morning, and that was not okay. Now, and I say this knowing that I feel like there's more people out there that could fit my schedule better and potentially also be, smart, could catch on quickly, etc. We'll see if I'm correct or not, but I believe I could find that person. And again, it's not like I expect this person to have many, many years of experience. I don't expect like these crazy things, so I definitely feel like I could find this. But just to give you a heads up, I did fire my assistant. My husband's like, okay, go get back out there and find somebody. I said, okay, hold on. I am going to start probably next week posting the job, trying to find the right candidate. I will tell you something personally, that I feel a little bit relieved that nobody will come work with me. Let me rephrase that nobody's actually with me in the workplace. It's really nice not to have somebody to work with, and I think many of you guys relate to that, as well as people who actually did hire somebody. I think, me personally, this is my opinion, but I think that you guys also feel like, oh, I wish I could run my whole business by myself. It's not about paying somebody. I have no problem paying somebody that could do the job that's not next to me. I'm a very social person, per se, but it's just something that it's a comfort factor. I think if it was outside in the workplace, I wouldn't mind people working around me. That's actually nicer. I don't know. The fact that I am my own boss, I can do what the hell I want. And the fact that because now I have somebody working with me, I can't really do what I want because I have to be up at a certain, I'm always up at a certain time. I'm always with you guys at 8 o'clock. But you know what I'm saying? Well, my pants are fine. But I usually sometimes wear pajama pants. When you guys see me like this, the bottom half, pajama pants, which is fine. It's nothing crazy. But I want to just be able to be comfortable, and I know I have to hire somebody. I just don't like the fact that I'm going to have somebody next to me and the training process. But I will tell you that it will bring in much more revenue for me, and I know that. So what do? Do I be comfortable and not hire somebody, or do I bring somebody in and make more revenue? We'll see, right? So you don't work well with others. That's funny. You totally relate to that. Awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of people can. It's just more comfortable without people, and I can't do everything myself. You guys know I can't. I had my daughter work for me for a while at my day job. That's cool. Dahlia has a personal work bubble. I do. I have more PJs than regular clothes and be less stressed. Yeah, exactly. So let me get started on today's topic. And again, if you just joined me a few moments ago, I have to end the call in about 5 minutes or so because I am calling my daughter's teacher. Girls picking on my daughter, and of course it's never okay, but particularly for me because I was picked on as a little child, and it upset me to see my daughter cry, thinking that she has no friends. And it's so funny, I forget how elementary school is because I'm like, well, you have other friends, don't you? And she's like, yeah, and she named the people. And she's like, yeah, but I'm not sure if they're my friends. I'm like, why? She said, because they didn't ask me. I'm like, ask you what? And I realized as I was asking her that question, I realized what she was talking about. When kids are younger, they have to ask each other, will you be my friend? Or can I be a friend? Or, you know, and that's the point where you know you're friends. It's so interesting, you know, and I forget about that. I want to tell her, who gives a shit, you know? But I know it's really important to little kids, and I can't just buy her, you know, her buy-in with that. It's not going to work. I know, Michelle, she was crying and it really upset me. So anyway, I'll be ending the call soon so I could talk to her teacher. Get the mother's number, talk to the mother, and as well talk to her teacher. It's silly teasing. It's not teasing like I used to get when I was little. It's annoying teasing. It's nothing, neither here nor there, you know? But my daughter tries to defend herself and she keeps at it. I don't know why. And this girl's supposedly her friend. Oh yeah, I don't tolerate any sort of thing. I try to have my daughter handle it. She's been trying to handle it for weeks because it's not serious stuff. But it certainly hurt her feelings enough for her to cry. And I was like, that's it. She's tried. And this person, this kid, keeps at it. So I was like, no. Anyway, I was bullied as a child, so I'm not about that. Let's get started about the 3 things I'm noticing in shop critiques, okay? So again, I've been doing shop critiques for several weeks, and I keep noticing this thing that's coming up. There's a few things, actually, but I want to talk about three things to help you guys out there, regardless if you had a shop critique or if you didn't. And if you didn't, of course, it will help you. But if you did, maybe this will reinforce how important this idea is, okay? It breaks your heart when they get picked on. It makes you want to fly up to school in a rage. I know, Michelle. I avoided telling my husband, because that's my husband. My husband would, like, shut down the school and make sure somebody takes care of it. And I understand his concern. Of course, I want to do the same thing, but I know that's not the right thing. Because obviously it's not as serious, her picking on. So that's why I'm handling it calmly, you know? Anyway, let me give you these 3 tips, and I do have to go, guys. So the first thing I see often is, of course, I get shop critique questionnaires, and I ask several questions. And one of the questions is, do you have my SEO webinar? And if so, did you work on anything? You know, did you work on any listings? Anyway, regardless if they have my SEO webinar or not, a lot of times I find out they are not quite done with SEO. Meaning, you know, they maybe changed some listings, or they didn't get to it, or something that has them not quite finished with SEO. And I know that that's kind of weird to say that you're quite finished with SEO. We feel like we're never finished with SEO. But essentially, yes, you could finish all your listings and leave it for many, many months to see how they perform. So the point is, many people, I find that they don't actually finish their SEO. And part of the reason I feel is because they don't understand the importance of it. And if I've not made it clear, I'll make it clear now. Again, this is tip number 1. Finish your SEO. It is one of the most important things you could do. And when I say one of the most, I mean out of a very few, okay? And I'm saying this first because it is of the utmost importance for you to finish your SEO. So if you're out there putting the task behind you, you keep moving it from to-do list to to-do list because you keep pushing it. You keep finding better things to do because it's more interesting. I get it. Nobody likes the SEO work. In fact, there's only a few people that actually enjoy it. I wouldn't say I enjoy it. I know it very well, so it's fairly easy for me, okay? So I recommend highly that you get in there and finish SEO for your listings, okay? That is tip number 1. I'll leave it at that because I find that people are still not quite yet done, but they're working on other things. And I know that because they're telling me in their questionnaire. And I want to be like, I'm sorry, did I give you the impression that you should not finish your SEO? And I say it like this because I care, so I'm passionate. I'm not trying to yell at you guys. But I want to make it very, very clear. Finish it, do it right, and that is it, okay? Now, hello. Tip number 2, again, I'm wrapping this up because I do have to end the call to talk to my daughter's teacher. Tip number 2, of course, is photos. Photos. Now, I know photos is a never-ending thing. It's not as easy as SEO because it's hard sometimes to learn for somebody, okay? So I have to say this about photos. Most of the time I see issues with lighting. People's whites are not white, and the photo's not bright enough. So for those, you have to do the research and do due diligence to find out how you edit photos after you take them, okay? You can use a little YouTube to help you do a little search on, what's the word? Let me stretch. You could do a little research to see how to photo edit on certain programs you want to use, if you have Photoshop or a free one, whatever. Those are the main things I see in photos. That's the main things. There's a few other problems in that, but I want to mention that. And the last one, because I do have to wrap this up, is not enough products, okay? Or only one type of product. So imagine you are, and I know I'm trying to rush this because I have to make a call, but a lot of times people will have not enough products and assume that that's all they need. 20 products, why am I not making a whole bunch of money? No, you have to have a variety, like a regular shop does. Part 2 of that is that if you only sell one type of product, let's say you only sell keychains. There's only so many keychains people want in the world. You have thought of everything. You cannot be found for keychains, unless there's many, many different keyword phrases for that, more than once on the first page, more than once on the second page, etc. You know? So yes, don't take them on your carpet. There's a lot of tips for photos, you know? But again, the last thing I want to say is you're not having enough product. You're not diverse enough. So if you're there and saying, I keep making different type of keychains and I keep fixing my SEO, I'm like, enough of the keychains. How could you expand out? What kind of accessories can you put there, etc. Okay? So I must call the teacher. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is really quick, but don't worry. I'll get back to my usual thing tomorrow, but I do have to make this important call. So even though I kind of rushed through these 3 tips, it's important that you understand that these are the 3 tips that most people have problems with. Okay? So I want you to think about that and do them. Okay? I'm off to call the teacher and head to work on email list webinar, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.